Okay. When last we left, our intrepid investigators, you two had gone to Brian Timmons' house the afternoon, Saturday. That was Saturday the 27th, and found the body. You made an anonymous phone call to the police. You went to the library and did some research. You were able to this letter that in German you were able to decipher. You managed to read the diary, which had information on apparently where Douglas Timmons was buried, I think. Yeah. And then also the information on the tower. You went to the tower that late afternoon, found your way in through a cave to a tunnel that led to a large chamber with things in pits underneath it. And then into a room on the other side where you found a man tied to a chair. But he looked awful. Oh, that's kind of what he looks like. Mottled skin, one leg terribly shriveled, the foot set at an odd angle. He was wearing, its left arm was crossed across its chest and connected with some flesh. And besides those deformities, he also is wearing very little clothing that appears to be rotted almost off of him, like very old and of antique, some kind of antique design. You were very disturbed by this, weren't you?
Yes.
And you just looked away and started scanning the rest of this little small room. And that's where we left off.
Mm-hmm.
What are you guys doing? Oh, minis. I can get you some of this.
Now, first off, I don't recall. Is this guy alive or dead?
Looks like he's alive.
Okay.
From what you have to look at him again, which you don't like doing. And when you do, you see. Oh, here's the ways. You guys can do anything you want with all this stuff, and you can go back in here if you want. And I can just leave this little folder for you guys to have all your stuff in if you want, or you can take your treasure sheets with you at the end of today. It's entirely up to you. He's in a really nice. It looks like it was once a nice chair with red velvet upholstery. He is tied down to it with leather straps. The style of clothing is. Does anyone have history?
Not me.
Do you have any points in it? There's a base or anything? What's the base?
Like 28%.
Is there? Yeah. Make it.
Oh, I do.
Oh,
we
make some
65.
base.
Right.
I have 65%.
You have 65.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
65 history.
Nice. Alright. Oh my god.
I guess that's
sorry.
researcher.
I just throw dice at my players. Keeps them in line. Oh wait, I had these up. Let's keep those separate from all the rest.
Okay.
This is a good one for I take D10.
Wonderful. Here we go.
Tens of ones. Yes, each of you give me a history check, please.
Mm-hmm. Equal to or under?
Yes, correct.
Alright, 31. That's I have no idea.
78. Okay, you don't recognize the time period of the clothing. You don't want to do that. Okay.
Dang.
It's obviously old
Here we
though.
go.
It's not anything from the 1920s.
I'm like, that's some damn old clothing.
It's what? What did you say?
That's some old clothing.
It does look old, and it's rotted as well. He does appear to be breathing. His head is lolling to one side. There's some drool coming out of the corner of his mouth. Wearing torn rags. The only other thing that you can see, the shelves contain dozens of opaque glass bottles. They appear to be, in the light from your flashlight, they appear to have stoppers in the tops of each one. And there's a table with what appears to be a large black book upon it.
Okay.
What are you doing? And you can still hear those creatures in the other room.
Okay.
It's
Kind
still
of like-
screeching and screaming.
Yeah, they're still kind of howling. They are not as loud as they were before.
Okay, I think I want to investigate
Do you have any?
book.
Okay. And do you have any knowledge of like potions or pharmaceuticals or anything?
No.
There's a pharmacy skill.
Oh well,
Like I said.
just
Just base.
yeah.
Okay. So you can
Um,
study pharmaceuticals. So you're walking over to the book.
yeah.
It is a large black book. It appears to be leather bound.
Mm-hmm.
It looks really old. It's just sitting on the table.
Okay. I'm gonna open it and
Okay.
look inside.
You pull it open. There is handwriting within. It's an archaic type of writing. It looks like it's in English.
Uh-huh.
And the book is probably over 100 pages long.
Okay. I don't know. I
What are you
guess
doing
that-
while she's looking at the book?
I'm gonna go ahead and be I'm kind of hitting all the. I've kind of avoided hitting him with any light, but
Okay.
I'm kind of looking at the bottles. Are there any like liquids in there, or are they just?
Well, they're opaque. You can't see through them. The tops appear to have some kind of metal between the stopper and the bottle, and you realize that it looks like they've been sealed with lead. It wouldn't be hard to break the seal if you wanted to, and there's probably, you count them, there's at least 2 dozen. They're good size, they're like a gallon or 2 each, you would guess. They also appear to be old bottles. Probably, you can do another history check while you're looking at that.
Okay, well, that's kind of.
And I'll give you a history check too. Or English, own language English, whichever's higher.
79 over 20.
Okay. You have no idea when they're from, but they're old. They're obviously very old.
Okay, so for our own language,
What do you have, like 95%?
31. Yeah.
Out of what? 95,
Yeah.
okay. From the style of writing, this is at least 200 or 300 years old. That's your
Okay.
best guess. There's ye's and thous and that kind of stuff. As you're just kind of starting to take a look at just the first couple pages.
Well, I'm not gonna open any of the containers right now, just in
Okay.
case maybe they are a bit too old. I know that my character knows that he got a bit of temporary poisoning from opening a jar of beer that was too old, so
Okay.
might not be a
Yeah.
good idea. So he's
You kind of looked at them, you've noted the seals on them, and you're just kind of looking them over at this point.
so I'm kind of taking a look around, maybe seeing if there's anything in the corners or what else is in the rest of the room.
You do find there's a low, dark tunnel in the back of the room. It's only it's just 6 feet high. How tall is your character?
He's like,
What's your size?
let's see, my size is 12.
Your size is 12. There's actually.
Huh, my size is 13.
Oh,
Well, you're taller than me, or you're bigger than me. Huh? You're bigger than me, though.
Shut up. No, I'm
Your character.
taller than you. I'm bigger than you.
Oh, here's something else for you.
I might be a bit of a shrinky boy.
Here's your card.
My car.
You might be a bit of a shrimpy boy. What was it, 12?
Yes, 12.
You're between 5'8" and 5'10". So you
Okay,
can
so-
decide exactly how tall you are.
Alright, well.
What's your height?
13.
I mean, yours is a 13. So you're between 5'10" and 6 feet tall.
Dang it.
I'm an Amazon.
I was hoping that the difference between male and female size would mean that her 13 would be a little
No, I'm
less.
definitely taller.
Well, it's just the heels, I'm sure.
Just let her have it. Okay, so you found this passageway in the back of the room. And you're kind of peeking in there, but not going in there, I'm assuming,
Yeah.
because you have the flashlight,
Yeah.
correct?
Right.
Yeah.
I think
I have a flashlight, but I'm not.
you got it in your
using
pocket.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
not using
You
it.
can if you want. She's using it to look at the book right now, and there's enough ambient light that you can look at the bottles and you can see this passageway. What do y'all want to do? And there's still this guy sitting in this chair, apparently unconscious. Yeah, he's a mess. He is so messed up.
I'm gonna kind of ask her, how long, did you recall how long,
He's a mess.
what's his name has been in the asylum for?
Oh, Brian Timmons?
Yes.
Well, ever since, I guess, whenever. No, I don't remember.
I don't think it was actually said how long he was there. I mean, I don't think anybody actually told you.
Yeah, because my
I think I have it written down.
My knowledge of medicine is pretty rudimentary, but I remember in the war, a person dies and starts rotting within within not too long. Yeah.
This guy isn't it.
Precisely,
I wanna
he's still.
examine the guy.
Say what?
Can I examine the dude?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look askance at you and kind of shiver a little bit and turn away.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna try to take a look at the book while you are
Okay, so-
examining.
So you walk over to this guy tied down in the chair, and
Yeah.
while she does that, you step over and you're just kind of glancing at the book, correct? You can't make out as much because without the flashlight in your hand. He's unconscious. You think. You get kind of close. There's kind of a a, rotty smell. You know, there's a stench. He is breathing though. Yeah. And like I said, there's a little drool coming out from his from the side of his mouth, and his head is kind of over to one side like this.
I guess anthropology wouldn't do anything for that.
Oh, that good.
No, what are you wanting to do?
Figure out who he is or where he's from or what happened to him.
He looks like he was in a terrible accident or something awful happened to him. He's obviously still alive, so it's not just a body that's rotting, but it almost looks like the flesh is rotting. You know, the skin looks mottled and grotesque. Yeah, give me a first aid. How about that?
First aid?
Yeah. Just to kind of look him over and see if you can figure out what is wrong with this guy.
25, 30.
Out of 30, 25, that's successful. Okay.
Sweet.
It almost looks like a terrible, terrible skin condition.
Uh-huh.
Otherwise, you're not sure how to explain it. You don't know how to explain this flesh that's holding his arm to us. I mean, that is literally unexplainable to you.
Mm-hmm.
You would think birth defect, but the fact of the matter is that it's the kind of thing that someone couldn't survive their whole life like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or something would have been done about it.
Uh-huh.
And also the flesh that's holding him down, you can see like pock marks all in it. This flesh over here looks relatively whole, but then this just looks, and the flesh of his face looks mutilated. His eyes are slightly open, but obviously he's not seeing anything at this moment. Your guess is still that he's unconscious or just numb.
Or just barely there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of the wounds might also be the result of some kind of torture as well.
Ooh. Okay. Now, you're still investigating, or
He's over.
kind of
You
looking around.
you lean over there, and he's looking at the book that you were just looking at.
Okay.
He's kind of just
Flipping through the
he's
pages,
kind of.
yeah.
I'm gonna.
And you're having some trouble just reading specific things. There are some pictures, some crude drawings of various disturbing things.
I like flipping through books and taking pictures of weird drawings.
Okay, I'm gonna go over to you and ask what the whole dark passageway was, right?
Okay.
Because you found the dark passageway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't know he found it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
You were paying
Let's
attention.
convene.
Okay, like.
Keep that in mind.
Oh, by the way, I found.
Okay, so you walk over to him.
Oh, by the way, I found this weird dark passage. I can't really tell how far it is, but
We should go in it.
we
Just
went through one dark passage and found this weird
Well, we need to find out what's happening to this guy because he looks pretty in, pain and.
place. Oh.
Yeah, he won't look at him. He starts to look that way,
Oh,
and then he turns his head back to you.
go look. Don't look at him. But he's pretty bad off, so let's try and investigate what's going on because I'm kind of interested.
Are you getting anything out of this book? I'm just seeing these weird drawings in here.
Well, it's
With the flashlight there, you can see better that it's written in English, and that it's obviously an antiquated writing style.
yeah, antiquated and lots of E's and vowels and such.
And you know how on it?
What?
Can you make anything out from this?
Can you? I want to know if you can first.
Well, I've been seeing these.
Oh, did
weird
you haven't done a history check on the book yet, have you?
No,
I'll let you do that.
Okay.
You did one on his clothes, and then you failed your one on the book, so
Yeah.
you weren't exactly sure. Just
Okay, 14 out of
Oh.
20, so I
Nice.
know something about it.
Your guess is that it is 2 to 3, a couple hundred years old. It's just a guess from some of the things that you've seen, from books that you have acquired and then skimmed through before selling them.
Yeah.
1700s, maybe the late 1600s.
Now my knowledge with antiquities kind of implies that this book is probably from somewhere in the 1600s, 1700s, so kind of right before the Revolution. So whoever wrote this was here a long, long time ago. Now, how much dust did I see on the front of the book? Did we see on the front of the book anyway?
It was clean.
Okay. And also,
Actually, everything in this room has been, the tabletop's relatively clean. There's some dust on the shelves and on the bottles, but you also saw fresh handprints.
Ooh.
I'll give you that for free.
So it seems that, looking around this room though, I noticed that it's been used pretty recently. I'm kind of wondering how recently it was used before Mr. Timmons was shipped off to the crazy house.
Oh, you think it's Mr. Timmons who's doing all this?
Well, it is on his property. I'm not personally saying it's him, but
What? Oh, don't knock the bottle.
He's making me nervous.
That's why mine goes far away from me, because I have a tendency to spill
Yeah.
a lot.
but it looks like all this stuff's in here has been in pretty recent use.
Well, I haven't taken a look at the bottles yet with the corks in them, so maybe I'll go and investigate them. What did you roll for that?
I had no idea.
That was another history check, just to see if you kind of can guess the age.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna do that then.
Okay. Yeah, go for it. You examine them, they're sealed with lead. Somebody's melted lead in them. To hold the glass corks. You failed that one? Not sure. They're old. They're obviously old.
They're super old.
You know that they're not, like, mass produced.
Yeah.
I mean, I gave you both of you that for free.
Is there
It's-
anything in them?
They're opaque.
Oh,
You can't
yeah.
tell. You'd have to pop open the top. And there's a couple dozen of them.
Do I want to pop open the top?
Well,
That's entirely up to you.
I
No,
know-
you guys really haven't even touched them yet, though. I'm gonna throw that out there too. It's not like you even picked it up and done one of these. Okay, so
All right. Well.
keep that in mind. You've examined them, you kind of looked at them, and then you decided.
Yeah.
And I've told you what you've just seen.
Yeah. So I'll pick it up and shake it.
Okay.
If there's things in there.
It's heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, there's obviously something in it, but it doesn't like slosh or anything
Yeah.
like that.
It's kinda
So
like
whatever's
that.
in there, it must be some kind of a solid.
Okay.
Is your guess?
Okay. Well, we uncork one of those babies.
Okay. She's working the cork on one, breaking away the lead, and it comes away fairly easily. It's pretty old. You pop it open. Exactly. There is and you kind of shine your flashlight down inside it, I'm assuming, and it looks like it's almost filled to the top with some kind of powder, a strange colored powder.
What does it smell like?
It's got kind of a cinnamony smell, but also something you can't identify that is not, that makes you feel uncomfortable. Kind of a nauseous, makes you feel a little nauseous.
Okay.
And not overpowering, it's just like, ugh. It's kind of like that walking into your uncle's bathroom after he's used it, that kind of thing.
Yes. Thank you.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Okay. So, do you want to do anything right now?
Well, I'm kind of interested in investigating at this tunnel, though. Of course, you have the flashlight.
Yes. Well, I'll go with you if you want. And the tunnel, you say? What's this all about?
Well, there's this weird little kind of hole in the wall that I can't really figure out how far it goes since I don't have any sort of light. You know.
Right.
But it might help us get to the bottom of this, maybe. At least I don't
Wait
really.
a second, you're changing your tune here.
Well, I don't really know how this guy back
A second
here.
ago, you were like, no.
How this guy back here behind me had some trouble, but maybe there's a bit of silence down this way instead of all these weird shrieks.
Yeah, they've
Just
settled
like-
down some, but every once in a while you still hear it coming from out in that main room.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go and investigate then.
Okay, who's leading the way?
Let's just look
Alright.
at the flashlight, so,
So you walk down the tunnel.
yeah, the flashlight.
It doesn't go too terribly far, maybe 20 or 30 yards.
Mm-hmm.
There's roots coming out from it. It's kind of nasty little tunnel, and it ends in a stone shaft with bricks on either side, large stone bricks.
Mm-hmm.
There are iron rungs set in the far wall that go up, and when you shine your flashlight up, you see that they go up about 30 feet or so.
Wow.
And it looks like it ends in more stone,
Mm-hmm.
like a stone floor up above, and then there is a trapdoor set right above the rungs.
Well, like, I see the ladder and I see the little trapdoor, and I'm like, oh, great, maybe this is a way out. So we don't have to go back into the other room. So I urge you to kind of shine your light on the ladder so I can try to go ahead and start trying to ascend.
Okay.
Okay, you climb up. It's an easy climb. You get up to the top, and you push on the trap door because you don't see any kind of hinges on your side, and it won't budge. And you kind of tap it, and there's a really solid sound, like it's covered up, covered up on the other side.
Okay.
Like you don't think you're gonna be able to move it.
Okay.
Like maybe some poured dirt on it.
Yeah, maybe it's like right under the tower, so we might not be able to really get up there.
Was there even a tower though? I
Well,
thought it was just a
there
ring
basically
of-
There's a
the road.
foundation,
Yeah,
Okay.
and then it was full of dirt.
and
Oh,
that
yeah.
was about 30 feet across.
No, this is 30 feet high. But they were both about 15 feet across. You're right.
Almost.
It does make you think. Now it is comparable as far as sizes go.
Okay.
So
Well,
I'm assuming you're gonna climb back down.
Yeah, I'm gonna climb back down. And be
Tink,
like,
tink, and tell her what happened up there.
well, no dice, honey. Basically it's not exactly. It's not exactly budging up there unless you have some muscles hidden under that dress of yours.
Oh my goodness.
So maybe we could just see if there's anything sitting around in the dirt around here. Is there anything on the floor or around the walls besides the ladder?
No, you shine your flashlight around. You do a 5-minute search of this area. It's not very big, but
Just
it's
kinda like
dirt floor.
Circular.
Yes.
Okay. And no way out.
The only way out is the way you came in.
Okay.
That little tunnel.
All right. So I guess there's nothing much here to look at. So I guess let's go back out
Okay.
of this entire place.
You walk back to the room. You still got this man in the chair.
Okay.
Mhm.
It might be possible to bring him around.
Oh, God.
That's up to you. I'm just saying, he's obviously in a state. And
Okay. Well, I kind of thought about doing that before we went into the thing, but I sort of didn't because I didn't want to like touch him or anything. So
He still has those gloves. You remember him pulling on a pair of gloves before he
yeah.
sifted through the
give me
the
your
fireplaces.
gloves. Give me your gloves so I can kind of prod at this dude and see if he wakes up.
They're still very sooty, but do you give her the gloves?
Yeah, I hand her the gloves and
Okay.
I kind of turn back away though.
Okay. You don't want to see this guy. There's too many bad memories.
Yeah.
Okay, give me another first aid roll.
Okay, first aid.
Mm-hmm. This is going to indicate more how long it's going to take you to bring him around. Because if you just give him some slaps on the faces and kind of shake him and try to 52 out of 20 out of what? Out of 30?
Yeah,
Okay,
so I guess
that's
it's
okay.
kind of like
It takes several minutes
Okay.
of constant prodding and trying to get this fellow awake. You can't just leave him here. I mean, geez.
Do I tear some of his?
He when his eye, do you what?
Tear some of his like
ew.
flesh
No.
off.
No, not unless you really want to.
Gross.
You're kind of close to him, and you're like, and you've seen him his eyes starting to kind of flicker, and you've gotten close, and are not no closer than close enough that you could, not be going.
Yeah.
You're kind of close to his face, kind of smack. So try to wake up, and his eyes just fly open all of a sudden, and he screams, "Ye awful man, Douglas Timmons!" And yeah, your eyes open
Okay.
up a bunch too.
And I'm like, oh my god, what?
You jump back. He's looking around wide-eyed.
Uh-huh.
And he's like kind of gibbering. In that kind of thing.
It's giving me goosebumps. Okay, go.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
He is mentally, obviously, in a pretty bad state.
Right.
And he's just,
He's kind of on the crazy side.
it looks like it, but it also looks like he's been through hell and back. And when you hear this, it throws you back to the war. Some of the men with shell shock would end up kind of this way.
So I kind of start shivering and kind of try to.
You're moving away a little
Yeah,
bit?
I'm kind of like
Okay.
just sort of uncomfortably.
Where are you heading? Which
Walking.
direction do you want to go? Do you want to go back towards the doors with the
Yeah, just
things?
kinda
Do you want to go towards the tunnel entrance to the
Circle.
I think I'm just kind of like kind of walking in circles.
Nervously
just
walking
Kind, yeah,
around?
kind of
Okay,
trying to look
yeah.
like I'm looking at the
Yeah.
walls and things. But
When he walks by the book, he'll turn a page, and then he goes on by without actually looking at it. You've noticed this.
Yeah.
He's obviously having what, are you kind of doing the
I'm
wringing
kind
of your hands and that kind of thing? Or
I'm
are they in your
kinda-
pocket? How do you,
I'm kind of.
give us a picture. Paint us a picture.
I'm kind of, just kind of like walk around being like,
Okay.
oh, this is. It's kind of like.
I like that a lot.
Myself,
Okay, yeah. Mumbling to himself and very nervously walking around.
Okay. I feel like are we gonna have to do a sanity check thing? No?
No, not at this point. No, this guy's obviously something terrible's happened to him, but you've already seen him.
Okay.
You've already kind of gotten used to him. He's had a very bad reaction. He's playing up his sanity loss very nicely. You were able to handle it, and it was still disturbing to you.
Can I talk to him at all?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what happened to you? Sorry.
It takes you a while to calm him down.
Okay.
To try to talk to him, to try to get him to speak. He's speaking in a very archaic form of English.
Mm-hmm.
Again, lots of ye's and thou's. And he finally is like, Who art thou? Are you with him? Are you with Douglas Timmins?
No.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's keep that.
I'm
This
not.
guy keeps moving, too.
I just stumbled upon this place. Who are you? What has happened? Oh no.
I was Jason Greeley. And that name means nothing to you. No, keep going.
Well, how long have you been here?
Weeks. Before that. It was before that I was... He brought me back. He brought me back from the dead. The devil Douglas Timmins.
Douglas Timmins.
He's looking around. He looks at him, but obviously, and then looks immediately away. Obviously, doesn't recognize him.
Right.
Then he points with the horrible left hand over at that shelf with all of the bottles.
Bottles. Okay.
And he says, "That madman, his spell is magic. He brought me back from the dead, in order to torture me."
But Douglas Timmins is, I'm assuming, dead. Is he dead?
He is alive again.
Oh God.
We had come from the village to stop him, and he ran. In the year of our Lord, 17...
Whoa.
That's a long time ago.
It is. I don't have that date written
1727.
No.
down.
It's not.
1723
That was
is
close.
what he does say.
What kind of magic?
I know not. He is an evil man. If thou knowest of him, thou must kill him. Thou must kill him. Thou must destroy this evil that has come back into your world. And then he goes on to tell you that Douglas Timmins had come from Massachusetts in 1640 and lived on a farm near Woonsocket for many years before some of the townsfolk began to notice that the strange, reclusive man did not seem to age. Finally, in 1723, when people who had known of Douglas Timmins since childhood began to die of old age, suspicions were raised, and this man, who claims to be named Jason Greeley, says he led a mob that descended upon the farmhouse. With men from the militia and men from the town, they were going to put an end to the evil of Douglas Timmins. However, rather than face his accusers, Timmins and his half-breed servant escaped out the back door of the house.
Oh, half-breed servant.
Yes, that's exactly what he says.
Wow.
You don't know what he means. They found the townsfolk waiting for them, and as they fled across the nearby field, 2 townsmen opened fire. Excuse me. One of the men was certain that he had hit Timmins, but the 2 fugitives managed to escape in the woods and were never seen again.
I see.
But he was not killed. That's what Greeley, what did I say this guy's name was? Yeah, Jason Greeley tells you. And then he goes on to tell you that he lived to the ripe age of 53 before he died.
but he was brought back from the dead?
I know that I died, and I know I am here now, in this hell that Timmons. And he gloated at me that he said that he had brought me back with his magic, that he brought me from my essential salts. And he kind of nods again towards those bottles.
Okay.
Like
Well,
shiver a
Brian
little.
Timmons looks a lot like Douglas Timmons, but if Douglas Timmons is immortal, then anything goes. Basically. What else can you ask this dude?
How do you feel in this state? You could ask him.
Wait, unless you're going to say something to her.
I'm not asking
Then
anything.
don't make suggestions, let her figure this out. Because your character's in a state right now, isn't he?
Okay. Well,
You can ask him, and then you can reply however your character would reply.
John
Which is probably going to be, or whatever you want to do. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Okay, John McKeefe, what should I say to this dude?